Hello and welcome to Tarot from the Crypt. I am Lotus God Sage. We are in the landing of August, and today we're about to get into a Cancer water sign read. Cancer, the crab, Native American zodiac, the woodpecker. Today we're about to get into a general read and see what tarot has to bestow upon you. Cancer, we're going to start with the Egyptian tarot deck and see what your read reveals. So Cancer, we start with the Strength inverted, Major Arcana card number 11, followed by the Knave of Swords or the Page of Swords inverted, followed by Major Arcana number 2, the High Priestess, and that being followed by the Four of Pentacles to end up your first row here. So to start, Cancer, with this Strength card in reverse, I'm getting that some of you guys might be feeling a little weakened here as we enter the landing of August 2020. You know, usually with power and majesty, the Strength card brings a message of great ineptitude. You know, with the character on the card featured holding the lion's mouth open. But it seems, Cancer, something is causing you something is causing you a little trouble here in the landing of August. The Strength card inverted being followed by the Knave of Swords or the Page of Swords inverted. A very youthful energy, but also swords representing clarity and the ability to see. Page cards also representing a thirst for knowledge or a acquisition of information. This page here shows someone looking into something in order to better procure a strong and firm foundation with the King of Swords. But here with this Page of Swords, um, the delayed and disappointing news that sometimes comes with it, might miss your mailbox, Cancer. Following the Page of Swords inverted, we have the High Priestess inverted as well. Your first three cards are inverted, your last one upright. But the Four of Pentacles is a message we'll get to in a second. Here we have the High Priestess inverted. Very much a cosmic, light, feminine, divine energy. The High Priestess being the freest of all the queens of the tarot, of all the most divine feminine energies. The High Priestess being the most light and ethereal. So here in the middle of your read, Cancer, we have both. We have a grand male energy and a grander female energy, but both of these energies seem to be troubled and seem to have some turmoil about them. And this Strength card in reverse to lead off your read, Cancer, it leads me to believe that a lot of you guys out there are feeling weakened and in your ideas, maybe about self or maybe about society. You're feeling some trouble about the world around you. Because here with this Four of Pentacles, an Earth energy card, very much a card of greed and frugalness to a sense. Very much a card that shows a fear of loss and a guard against it. Here with this Four of Pentacles. Cancer, some of you guys might. The strength of some of you guys who are dealing with relationships in both the feminine and the masculine aspects within your home lives. For those of us who are coupled, you might be experiencing some turmoil with a more grounded and a more logical masculine energy versus a more free and a more naturalistic feminine energy. Some of you guys might be experiencing troubles within your finances based on your differences and spending habits here in this landing of August. But here with this Four of Pentacles, I'm getting that some of you Capricorns out there are guarding yourselves against some kind of loss. Whether it's a loss of physical strength and physical health, a loss of physical wealth, or a loss of hope that is physically weakening when hopelessness sets in. Because hopelessness does come at a cost. So to go down one more layer to bridge in the gaps in your top reading, Cancer, we have the Two of Vessels, attractions, the Two of Cups, the Five of Arrows, or the Five of Swords, followed by the Forest Lovers. So yes, although this is a general read, what I'm getting here is a lot of, not necessarily clashing, but a lot of opposing and differentiated, and a lot of bipolar dynamic, but not in the individual sense, in the sense where it's the two poles are two different parties. To bridge your Strength inverted and your Knave of Swords or your Page of Swords inverted, you have the Two of Cups, the Two of Vessels, attraction. It's basically, in my interpretation, the Baby Lovers card, which you do have at the end, the Forest Lovers. But the Two of Cups is about a choice and a balance with these two figures here, both coming to fill cups, whether the cups they are filling are their own cups or the other's cup. These figures are both contributing in the fluidness and the fieriness of this relationship. Both of these figures are doing what they need to do to keep the heart ablaze. So for those of us who are having relationship troubles in our homes, I do see that both parties are very willing and very capable to resolve the issue. But between the Page of Swords and the High Priestess, we have bridging the Five of Swords, frustration. The Five of Swords a card about deceit and hidden agenda and unfair loss, which is contributing here to this Four of Pentacles, which is causing a guard against unfair loss to be the overlaying modus operandi. You know, the main method of operation within this tumultuous time here is safeguarding. We're following Five Arrows to bridge the High Priestess and the Four of Pentacles, the feminine energy and the earthly and home, or maybe even work energy. We have the Forest Lovers in reverse. You know, the Lovers card, a card of twin flame and choice. With these twos here, we have a lot of twos in the sense that we have the Two of Vessels, the Two Lovers, and also the High Priestess. Major Arcana card number 2. So I'm getting very strongly that Cancer, some of you guys' relationships out there are getting a little crabby. Sorry for the pun. But we'll go here to the crypt deck to confine this message down to 2 cards and maybe get a little more potent in the message here. Just looking here at this Two of Cups, this emotional water energy here falling on the Page of Swords, this Knave of Swords, and this Strength card, both inverted. And this Two of Vessels being upright, and on this end over here, this being the masculine energy side and the feminine energy side over here, with the Four of Pentacles upright. Hinting that the Strength over here is in a very guarding place. The Strength over here is a warrior in armor, but to that decision, the feminine energy seems to still be bound, with these lovers here being tied wrist to tree. So Cancer, we'll just go down a little further and see if we can get more potent in the feminine and masculine identities and messages and information provided. And we come down and have the Queen of Swords, followed by the Ace of Swords. So here, as we come down on the side of the masculine, blended with the feminine as well here with this Strength card, with this female character, there seems to be a lot of caring and a lot of feminine concerning logic here when it comes to cutting out what is practical and what is not. Even though this is the Queen of Swords, as we get down here, we get these deep blues, which puts me very much in an emotional state here in this general reading that seems to be regarding relationships, whether this is intra or interpersonal. We all have these varying feminine and masculine dynamic aspects within ourselves. But this Queen of Swords here, the feminine energy, or the primarily dominant energy within the masculine as it concerns to the cares of a relationship, seem to be very queen concerning. But to follow the Queen of Swords up immediately with the Ace of Swords, a card at a fresh start and seeing clearly, a card about intellect and analytical thought on this earth side here with this guard. You know, it seems to be that the dynamic who is guarded here is very much staying guarded here with this prominent sword, this ace, and the reflective energy, whether masculine or feminine is matching, but with a softer sword with this queen here to say, yes, on guard, but on guard on love. This is very much coming off as a relationship dynamic, whether that is a relationship that's in progress or already established. Whether some of you guys are seeking a partner and finding that you might be meeting your match here with someone who is just as sharp and just as witty and just as physically established and guarded against maintaining being secure and stable as you are, and value the security of a home and security of work life just as much as you do, Cancer. Some of you guys also might be dealing with another Cancer with this very much so reflective and identical energy and operation going on here. Yes, there is a lot of turmoil and very prominent and very important situations and aspects at play here, but it seems like everything that's happening is being met perfectly with an equal and opposite reaction that dissipates any toxicity or any negativity that could come about here. I've never had a reading so positively well balanced, but still intense. It's like the best scenes from the movie Gladiator, but no one dies at the end of this battle. We have the dragonfly, air sign. To end off, you read here, Cancer. And the dragonfly, when in balance, which it is here, which is what I'm getting very much and intensively from this reading here, is a master of light, illusion, and the mind, which is why the troubles here might not might, but do seem so elusive. But I do see them here with opposing positions and swords. You know, the troubles are interpreted here, but almost at face value, this is just the softest on off opposing change I've encountered. You know, the smoothest transition from high to low, if it's not just this side of the fence or that side of the fence. If it's we're dealing with altitudes, this is the smoothest transition from a high to low, back and forward consistently that I've seen in a reading. But here with the dragonfly, when in balance, it sees clearly, it's joyful and it's magical. And to keep in balance, it is good for the dragonfly to focus on the breath. And the breath also meaning the breath of the body, but when you get into the breath and the death of relationships, you know, the breath is the life and the longevity and the time span. And the death is the intensity of the emotions and the love and the caring and the experiences. So here with attention being called to the breath, being guarded against this loss, it might be needed to note that unfortunately, like how some good times are temporary, fortunately also bad times and hardships are temporary also. So Cancer, water sign, to end this very intense emotional fluid water reading with your dragonfly, born of the water, an important part of the ecosystem at keeping mosquitoes and maybe other parasitic and blood-sucking creatures that live in water at bay. You know, it seems you are very much an emotional warrior as well with your sword and your swords about Cancer. But this has been Tarot from the Crypt. I am Lotus God Sage, wishing you much peace and love, Cancer, and also asking you to continue the good fight and the good balance of self-mastery and mastery of coming together with others that are self-mastered or seeking to be self-mastered. As we end this August landing of 2020, much peace and love as always, Cancer. Keep up the good fight.